Alright, so I've opened up DAZ 8. I'm not DAZ 8. I've opened up DAZ, and I am now going to go ahead and import my Tanaka model to show you how to do that. But first off, you got to load up a Genesis 8 female. I'm assuming you know how to do basic DAZ stuff. Well, then again, even I don't know how to do basic DAZ stuff. I'm still pretty much a beginner. But so I have my DAZ character right here. I'm gonna go ahead and import the new Tanaka morph I have made for it. So I want to go to Object, uh, Morph Loader Pro. Wait, did I go to Object or did I go to Figure? Oops, Figure. Sorry, not Object. Morph Loader Pro. Go to Choose Morph Files. Make sure you go to your folder where you have your morph exported from, depending on the program you used. I have my Tanaka eyebrows, hair, eyebrow, and head shape. This is my original export from the Russian 3D scanner, and this is my final version that I made in 3ds Max. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. It's going to open it up. It's going to go accept it. It's going to say, okay, nothing went wrong. This is okay. I'm going to go down to my uh, this one right here, this tab, parameters, and then I am going to select morph loader. Here we go. This is one. So notice how it's 0. You can go negative 100 to positive 100. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I'm also going to enable edit mode by right clicking that area. I'm going to go down to settings. I'm going to change Tanaka head shape. Okay, I'm going to leave the names just to make sure everything works. I'll change the color to what color do I use? Purple. And then I'm going to change my minimum to 0 because I don't want it to go reverse. I want it to go past 0. And I'm going to hit accept. So now I have a little slider here. And notice how it changes the head. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the bones though now. So tools, we're going to go to joint editor. This is the default Genesis 8 female character joint editor. And when I change the slider, it's going to slightly change it, of course. Of course, the bones don't move, so we got to fix that. So now I right click on this little empty space, go down to edit, adjust rigging the shape, and it's like, all right, what bones do you want to change? I'm going to go ahead and deselect them all. So right click, uncheck all, and I'm going to find neck because remember this is just a head morph. I don't want to change like the torso or anything by accident. So left hand, nope. Left color is unnecessary. Right color is unnecessary. Neck, here we go. Neck lower. Right click, check selected, and children. So now the neck is being altered. I can hit accept. It's going to work its magic. It's going to move the bones around a bit, and now it's fit to the head for Tanaka. So now I'm going to go ahead and right click on the morph itself. Go down to ERC freeze. It's going to freeze it as is. So now when I move the slider, it's going to move the bones with it. Otherwise, the Genesis 8 female would have just kept the bones I just changed it to, and I don't want that. I want it to work with this morpher, so I don't damage it in case I want to ever mix anything into it. So I have my Genesis 8 Tanaka female head pretty much done now. I mean, the morph wise. The eyes need to have a different texture on them, of course. And if you ever want to test the textures, uh, you can always, if you have any of my other models, I have pretty much a template done. So let's say I want to put Olympia on there, her skin. I just gotta hit skin on this Genesis 8 female, and it'll apply it. And that's how much it'll pretty much look like. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and put Tanaka's real skin on here, and I'm gonna make a custom set of eyes for her. But I might need to edit the eyes because they look a tad bit too small, the irises. But then again, it's based on Catherine's body. I mean, sorry, eyeballs. So, of course, that's Tanaka's, not Tanaka's skin. This is just a template I have for her. So now I'm going to go ahead and change it. So I'm going to go down to surfaces, go to Genesis 8 female. I'm going to look for surfaces. I'm going to click, I'm going to go to arms. We're going to go to base color, browse, and then you're going to find your area. So, I believe her name was Holly Tanaka. I like to put first names and last names just in case you get a character that has the same last name as someone else. So, Holly Tanaka. I'm in runtime textures, my name, then Halo to Holy Tanaka. because I want to separate my textures to stay with my stuff. So normally I would also put Halo 5, but I got lazy and I'm like I'm too far gone to go back and fix it. Because if I change the directory names now, it will make all my other textures or materials rendered useless because it's looking in a folder that does not exist. So now I got to make sure I have my Tali textures that I made previously, and my computer froze for a bit, and oh there we go, I came back. So I have the head, legs, arms, and torso done. So I'm just going to copy them and I'm going to paste them over. Now, if you ever do like an outfit or something, you can do a new folder and just I don't know, outfits like this, and then let's say you want like I have a summer outfit or maybe a training outfit or her Spartan outfit. So, but for now, I don't have any outfit set up for her that I want to make. So I'm going to go to Holly Tanaka again, and I'm just going to select the bodies. Of course, I'm going to hit copy the URL because every time I load in, I'm going to have to paste it in there. So I'm doing arms right now. So I'll change that to arms. And you're not going to see much of a difference, but the arms have changed. So the arms are now different. I'm going to go down to cornea, and I don't need to change anything here. Ears, I need to put a new face texture. So I already have Control V, the URL. I'm going to go to head, select it, and now I change the head. Oh, it's ears technically. I want to go to eye moisture, don't need to change it. Eye socket, I need to change the head, and luckily it's popped up, but I have several heads already in because that's what I name all my textures. So I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Go to browse. Oops, I misclicked. Browse. Same thing, Control V, and then go to head, and it changes it to head. Same thing with face. I can experiment and just go hit head. Nope, that wasn't it. This one's it. There we go. Fingernails is arms. So there we go. I got the right arms. Irises. I don't have my texture made for it yet, so I'll ignore that for now. Legs. I never imported new legs yet, so I have to do the same thing over here. Legs. Lips is going to be another face texture. Mouth, as is. Pupils. I have not made my new textures yet. Sclera, still haven't done it. I'm going to say some names wrong, unfortunately. Teeth are basic. Toenails are going to be your legs. And then your torso, I haven't imported yet. So I will now go to Control V, paste it, and put torso. And now I have my pretty much basic, let's get out of the joint editor, 3D model of Tanaka. So, congratulations, you've imported your custom character morph, assuming you did something yourself along the way. And let's just take a look. Her eyes are naturally not blue. Like I said, I still got to make the eyes. But let's take a look at how she looks so far. I use all the base Genesis 8 textures with it, but I just changed the diffuse textures. And I think it's looking pretty good. So, I'm happy with what I have. Now I'm going to go ahead and pretty much get out of this because it's eating my resources. Okay, so the next step, of course, is probably going to be saving your morphs. So, when you save your morphs, make sure you, well, of course this doesn't really apply to the morph, but for now, I'm going to go to my Halo folder, create a subfolder, and I'm going to name it Holly Tanaka. I spelled Holly wrong. Holly Tanaka. And I'm going to go ahead and go accept. And now that I have Holly Tanaka done, I'm going to go ahead and create a subfolder called Materials. So Holly Tanaka and Materials is now made. And now I'm going to create another subfolder called Outfits, just like what I named in the textures. And then I would, at this point, if I had an outfit, I would create a folder called like Summertime Outfit or Training Time Outfit or Spartan Time Outfit, or not really Spartan Time, but you know what I mean. You name it an appropriate name. But for now, it's just Holly Tanaka and Materials. Because I went through all the trouble setting up for Materials, so might as well save it. So go to File, Save As, Materials preset. So once you get to your I'm sorry. Once your open up your material editor, material saver browser, file browser. Just slipping on my tongue right now. You're going to go ahead and find the folder you want. So Monkey Rebel 17, this is my character, my username. I have Halo Resident Evil done. I'm going to go down to Holly Tanaka, click on it, go to materials, and I'm going to go ahead and, well, I don't really need materials here. Let's just go ahead and keep it over here right now. So for materials for this one is what I do for the hair. But since I only have the skin, I'll just name it Tanaka Skin Material. I'll save it. It's going to say which ones you want to save. Let's just save them all. Accept. Congratulations, you now have your first material saved for this character. If you hover over it, you get your little tip icon, and it even tells you who the author is. And so, I'm Monkey Roll 7, so that's how you know I made this product. Or I ported this product, you could say. So, I have that done. Now let's go ahead and save the actual morph that we're using. So, support asset, morph assets. So, I have vendor name Monkey Rebel 17. That's my name. My product name will be, and if you hit this, it'll show you a list of names that are associated with this account. I have two Catherine Houseleys because one's a test one, one's a real one. Usually anything with underscores my test models. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in Holly Tanaka. But notice how I don't do any capitalization when it comes to this. I'm very confusing when it comes to that. So, now that I have that, I need to find which morphs to use for this character. So, I'm going to look for it. I believe it's in head. I have it set for people, Halo, and I'm going to... Ooh, I never saved it. Okay. So that was my issue. I never saved it. So, cancel this. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to parameters. I'm going to go over here to this. I'm going to change the name to Tanaka Head, but I'm going to go all caps on the head. To Tanaka Head. And then I've got to change the path. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in actor, head, where to put it? People, Halo, and it's going to save there. So I believe that's correct. And now I got to go to shaping to find it. So I got to go to head, people, and Halo. Yeah, here we go. So Tanaka Head is what I have. I guess I have it lowercase on some of these. My Cortana one never was finished, so I need to re-edit that one to make it match the rest. So I'll just lowercase the head, accept, and now it's properly saved. And it works too. Perfect. So now that I have that out of the way, let's go ahead and properly save it now. So support asset, morph asset, Monkey Roll 7, Holly, Tanaka, no space at the end. And then I'm going to go down to Genesate female, going to go down to actor, head, people, Halo, and I'm just going to select Tanaka head. There we go. So go ahead and go ahead and hit accept. It will accept it, and now my Tanaka head is saved. And if I load up another Genesis 8 female, I can apply this same head to that female, along with the bone joints only being altered to the head. So Tanaka is now done for that basic setup, and now she can be used by mixing in other shapes and all that. An example could be if I typed in Parker is a pretty good shape on the Genesis 8 female for her body. It's very muscular, although a little too muscular if you ask me. I know Spartans is supposed to be built, but I don't know about that built. So I'd do like something like 50%, and then I'd do fit, and then I would do maybe fitness, maybe 50%. But this is just I'm just showing you that you can change the shaping and keep the head now. So currently used, go ahead and get rid of fit and get rid of Parker body. So we have our Tanaka head and it works all swell. Now let's go ahead and import her hair. So here I have opened up my import file browser and I see hair. I'm going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to go to accept because everything I have is set to custom, scale 254, blah blah blah, and it loads in her hair, uncolored, of course, because it's OBJ. I'm going to import her eyebrows now. Yeah, same thing, accept, and there you go. You have her hair and all that is properly loaded up. Of course, now you got to apply the textures like you did last time. Alright, so now that I have Tanaka's hair and eyebrows imported into DAZ, the next step I gotta do is color them, or give them the proper textures. So, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is go to, or make sure I'm clicked on her hair, go down to surfaces, go ahead and click on hair, and there's only one texture. And so materials, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I've noticed that when I change some of these numbers around, like I like to put 0.5 here. The base color is obviously going to be your diffuse. So I'm going to go ahead and go to outfits and I'll go to hair, or maybe I'll capitalize it, hair, and I'll do eyebrows. And let's see, what would this be for? Her hair's up, so what would I call this? Her hair is, I'll just type in Spartan. So this is her Spartan hairdo with her helmet on and all that good stuff. I'll drag eyebrows and I'll drag hair into Spartan. So now that I have eyebrows and hair, I have to go find my textures for her. So I'll paste it, eyebrows, eyelashes, in other words facial hair, hair, female default, and hair, female default Tanaka. So it's very simple. Let's just go ahead and use a hair female default. Open that up. And DAZ, you're going to need to make a alpha for it. So if you have a photo editing program like Paint.net or Photoshop, you're going to have to create an alpha of some sort. So I'm going to go ahead and go to, well, I didn't put anything for base color. What the heck? Thought I did. There we go. Now it's in there. So I'm going to reopen this up so I can make an alpha of it. I'm going to drag it over to my Paint.net. This is what my Paint.net is. I'm going to go ahead. I have a plugin in here which lets me reverse this so it shows the alpha. So my object, switch alpha to gray. I invert it because obviously I want the hair strands to be the white part. I control save, and then I'm going to change it to default, then underscore. I usually do either O for opacity or A for alpha, depending on whatever situation you're in. Sometimes opacity is the best one just to go with. And then you can go ahead and close it. And now it's going to pop up. So O, don't need to do it right now, but you're going to go down to Cut Out Opacity. Browse. Hit the O. And there. Of course, it looks pretty bad right here, but when you do the iRay feature, it will look a little better. There we go, see? Now that I have that set up, I'm going to go ahead and go to base color. And let's say I wanted to give her red hair. I just make it red and it changes the color to red. But Tanaka has, I believe, either brown hair or black hair. Probably black hair considering that her scalp was black. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the hair black as well. Eyebrows, same exact situation. So I'm going to go ahead and find that one. Here we go. This one I changed to 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and go to base color, browse, Spartan eyebrows, drag this onto my Paint.net so then I can do the same thing, repeat. I'm going to save it as, instead of black, it's going to be O. So now I have my opacity. This is the default one. Let's go ahead and delete the black one. I don't really need it since I'm just going to alter the color anyway. I just have it set to black because when I use like iClone, I would be lazy and just change the texture. So this is eyebrows. We're doing default. And I'm going to change it to black. and then I'm going to go down to cutout, opacity, browse, choose the alpha that I just made, and it should give it its nice little stringy effect. There we go. So now we have Tanaka's pretty good headshot right here. Of course, the eyes still need to be changed because she doesn't have blue eyes, but for now we're making good progress. So we have the head morph already done and confirmed, and now we have added the hair. Now I've always ran into an issue with the hair whenever I would try to parent it. I can be lazy and just parent it to the head, but if I alter the head, it won't alter the hairstyle with it. So what I do is I go Tanaka hair. I'm going to go ahead and go back to texture, shaded, and then I am going to go ahead and go down to edit, figure, transfer utility, go to select Genesis 8 female, because that's the source, and I'm going to do hair. Atom shape, Atom shape current, projection tool. You can do short hair, short hair. It's probably short hair for now. Reverse source sharp, reverse source shape from target. So that means it won't alter the hair. It's going to make it go back to what it was, but give it the weights as if it was on a proper Genesis 8 model. And if you want, you can do an add smoothing modifier. But since these assets are not quad assets, they're triangles, the polygons I mean, it's probably not going to be that clean. So I'm just going to leave that as is. I'm going to hit accept, and it should work its magic. So now the head is attached to it. Sometimes though, it will damage if you had a ponytail, it'll make it super rigid for some reason. I still don't understand why. And my eyebrows, they normally don't work either. But one way to get them to partially work is the same process. Figure, transfer utility, Genesis 8 female, Tanaka eyebrows, DAZ, current, full body, reverse source, go to morph targets, select all from projection template unchecked, and hit accept. And now it should, in theory, it's going to take a while because it's literally creating a whole bunch of new morphs for that eyebrow set. In theory, it should work out. Alrighty, so then I finally finished applying the morphs. So let's go ahead and see if it worked. So if I go to shaping or posing in this case, and I click on head, I should be able to go to pose controls, head, and cheeks or brow. So let's go ahead and move the. See, okay, look, it's not moving the eyebrow. So I don't know why it doesn't work, even though I apply it. But that's just my curse for now. So while I'm still trying to figure that one out, a friend of mine actually had the same problem, and we still haven't figured it out. But if you just had a static face, it would be cool. Look, like it moves now. See, it moves partially. I don't know why it doesn't move completely. So that annoys me sometimes. So just it's good to have it, even though you might not ever use it. So what I would do is just go to I'll just hide it, hide my shame. There you go. No, not that much of a difference. But let's say we wanted to go to shaping and get rid of Tanaka's head and see what the hair does. Notice how the hair actually moves with the head when you change the morph. If you added a smoother effect, it would, smooth modifier, it would properly adjust it so it's above the skin at all times. But I didn't add that because I know it's not a quad and it might damage the hair, since it's specifically meant to be made for a head shape like this. So that's why I don't do that. But, so, we now have our hair and our eyebrows checked and ready to go. Next, we got to do is save them. So let's go ahead and go to hair. Let's go down to materials, no outfits. Let's see, materials or outfits. Okay, I'll just delete materials because I don't think I'm going to use this eventually. So outfits, create a new thing called Spartan, and then go here and then create a thing called materials. And then here I can go ahead and go to save as material preset. Tanaka skin, not that one, Spartan materials, and we'll just name it to Tanaka hair material. Save it. Let's do the same thing with eyebrows. Save as material preset Tanaka eyebrows. material. So notice how we didn't have to put our own eyelashes since the Genesis 8 model uses its own eyelashes. So that's cool. So we now have our Tanaka head shape along with her hair and her broken eyebrows. But they're there in case we ever figure it out later, or maybe you know how to do it properly. Who knows? So we have that. Now we got to save the actual props. So let's do the hair because that one's the most important out of the props. You want to do figure prop assets. Once you have it open to your section, you want to go ahead and find uh, your section you want to work on. And I'm doing Holly Tanaka, so let's see, outfits and Spartan. I'll put it here. This is going to be her hair. Uh, I can just keep it as hair because it's maybe I'll just leave it as hair for now. Save. You're going to get a window like this, and so it's going to be my vendor name is my name, product name. I'm going to put Holly Tanaka because that's who the character is. Hair, and I'm going to put next to it Spartan because that's her Spartan hair. Of course, this is just the item name, so this isn't going to pop up on the actual list content browser to your left. It's just going to name it as that for the files in the data folder. So I'm going to go ahead and go to accept. Now it's finished adding it. Same thing with the eyebrows, file, save as, support asset, figure prop assets. Instead of hair, I'm going to do eyebrows. .duff. Same thing, we want to make it the Holly Tanaka. So once you do it once, it'll get added to this list. Same thing with Spartan. There we go. And everything looks good. Even though these eyebrows are broken, they could eventually be fixed in the future. So that's why I put them in anyway. Because my knowledge of DAZ is pretty lacking. So I only know this because of I watched separate videos and they happen to help me understand it. But eyebrows I've been struggling with. So we have eyebrows and hair. I don't know why it's called actor and hair, but I don't care. And the only thing we need to do now for this whole thing to be completely done is change the eyes. But we can do some, quality of life things. Like how I have, not Cortana, Catherine, I can just hit this apply button and it will apply her head to this model. And I can hit remove, it will also remove the head from this model. So let's go ahead and do that for Holly. So let's go ahead and go to shaping and make sure she does not have any other unnecessary things. Okay, Tanaka head is all we need. Let's go ahead and go to file, save as, and we want to go to shaping preset because that's what's going to decide on what head shape it has or body shape. So once you open it up and you find your correct file path, I'm going to go ahead and go to Halo, Holly Tanaka, and I'm going to be in the center of her, or her main folder, and I'm going to call it, should I call it head apply or Tanaka head apply? Tanaka head apply. That's what we'll do. Save. It's going to say, okay, now go ahead and pick which shapes you want to save. I'm going to uncheck them all because I don't want them all to save. Then you got to find your actual one. So I believe it's in head, people, Halo, and Tanaka head. I forgot to put her first name on the Tanaka head. Dang it. Oh well, I can always override it later, I suppose. But go ahead and go to save, and it's only going to save that shape preset. So now let's go ahead and make it 0. File, save as, support asset, no, not support, shaping preset, if I can find it again. Same exact scenario, but now we're doing, instead of apply, we're doing a remove. Because maybe you don't want her head on there, and you don't want to go looking through the shaping morphs for it. So, same thing, uncheck all, to collapse it, not collapse it, expand it to actor, head. I don't know why my mouse is all flickering like that, but it's bothering me. People, Halo, and Tanaka head right here. Click on it, and then hit accept. And now I have it. So if I hit, make sure the Genesis 8 female is selected, I hit apply, it should apply her head, and if I hit remove, it should remove her head. Morph. And just the head morph. So if you had a custom shape, body shape, it won't apply to the body shape because we have it specifically set for this morph only. And now, if I were to go and rename Tanaka head to Holly Tanaka head, this apply and this remove will no longer work because it's looking for Tanaka head. So that's a shame, but that's just how it is. So you can always just remake them though, make your life easier. And now that we have that all set up, this model is pretty much set and ready to go to be used. To be if you were starting your own Halo rendering series where you want to do like the adventures of Tanaka and Osiris. Alright, so this is the program I use, iClone 7. I use this program to control or to do a test. Well, not test. I use this program to do simple renders. That's what I originally used before I switched to DAZ. Honestly, I still use iClone for my renders and turntables because it's just so more efficient when it comes to rendering, but it's not as crisp and clean looking as the iRay of DAZ. But moving on, here is how I do the eye textures. So I created a simple square 3D model. So it's just a plane, and it's got several, it's got several vertices that surround the eye pupil. The iris, sorry. And when I apply the texture, I make the camera zoom in as far as possible, and then I zoom in onto it so it slowly matches it. So it may look like I'm looking at a picture, but in reality, I'm looking at a 3D model. See how if I rotate it? So, this is a 3D model, and I made a morph of it where it expands the iris. Expands the iris to match this new size, which happens to match the size of the iris on the Genesis 8 female eyes. So I have this set up. Then I go to over here to the texture editing, not texture editing, sorry. I make sure it's the same Tanaka eyes, and it is. And now I go down to render, and I have it set to render at 1024 by 1024 ping. So I export it, Tanaka female export, and I'm going to type in eyes. Or in this case, I'm going to type in iris. Maybe I should do all caps. Iris, there we go. And I'm going to save it. So now the iris is saved as this. You're going to lose some quality from here and there, but that's okay because it's an eyeball. And now I made a reverse version of the morph, and it looks like this. So this is the reverse morph. I have it set to Halsey's eye texture that I made for her. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open this up in my paint.net. I'm going to apply Tanaka's eye over it, flatten it, save it. So it's Tanaka's eye texture. And notice how it's zoomed out. So the reason why I do this is so I get the actual eyeball. So naturally it looks like this, but I make the iris go small so I get the eyeball part. I don't know what that's actually called, but I have that now. So I go to export, it takes a photo of it, and this is what I call eyeball. So I now have my eyeball and iris. Now, in order to put them together, let me just close these really fast. So here's the eyeball, and here's the iris one I made. So very different, as you can tell. And now I'm going to go ahead and look for my alpha that I created for the iris and the eyeballs. So, this right here is my iris, my eyeball thing. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it to this. As you can tell, it's a little bit off because it's got some of the white in it, which is okay for now, I suppose. But, moving on to the eyeball now. Now I got to do the eyeball section, and that's this one. So go over here, apply the alpha mask, and now I have my eyeball. And this is Tanaka's eyeball. And then I have a template made for the eyes. So these are my Cortana eyes right here. And notice how the eyeball is at the top and the iris is at the bottom. So what I got to do is, I might redo this one because it's obviously off by a bit. So let's go ahead and, oh, I might need to raise it a bit. Okay. This is going to be annoying. There we go. And then make sure this one is all black. This one is this way. Flatten this, make this the alpha. Delete this one. Put in this alpha mask. And now recopy this one, this one over. And then make this one go on top. Realign it so it fits the model. Not perfect, but better than what it was. Delete this one. And then save this as my iris pink. So yes, save. And then save this one as my eyeball ping. So now that I have this, I can go ahead and push Control C to copy this. Do canvas size, stretch it by 2048. Put Control V so it pastes it. And now I have my bottom. But I also got to do the top part. So Control R, make it 2048. And then I got my top part. Delete this part. Unnecessary. And now I do the same thing for the eyeballs, but in reverse. So Control A, copy, and then canvas size this, and then set it from the bottom, do it from the top, 2048. Copy, paste, all that other good stuff. Canvas size, tab 2048, and then click on the tolerance, make it 0. Delete this. Control A, C, paste over here. Control new thing. Create new layer, sorry. And now Control F to flatten everything. Control A, Control C. Go over to Cortana's eyes, add a new layer, put new stuff on top of it. And now I have Tanaka's eyeball and irises. The irises are a little off because you can see it's looking up some of the eyes, but you can fix that yourself, or if for you, whatever you're doing. Because that render technique I do with the eyeball, you can easily do that in any other program that renders stuff. All I did was use iClone because that's what I was used to at the time. So I now have Tanaka's eyes. So make sure you save it where you need to. Now all I got to do is set them on my character. So if you recall, I did not change the eyes for eyes. No, the eye socket. Irises. Here we go. Browse. Halo, and then where's her name at? Holly. Oh, and I forgot to change the name on this one. So what I say was Genesis 8 female eyes Tanaka. And I open it. And then I go down to legs. Don't need it. Lips don't need it. Mouth don't need it. Pupils. Ooh, I might need this one. So I should already have it here. I don't see it, so I'm just going to go ahead and find it. Tanaka, and then eyes. Okay. I'm surprised I don't see it. It should say... Oh, here we go, Tanaka. There we go. So, now I have my actual finished product of Tanaka. Her eyes might look a little funky, but you can always edit your eyes to make it fit whatever you need it to be, like the pupil size or whatnot. So now that I've updated the materials, I gotta save it. So Holly. So let's go ahead and save the material. Make sure Genesis 8 female selected, and Holly Tanaka and material skin. Save it as. Yep. Accept. And now we have our new material skin. So Tanaka's pretty much done. Now our Tanaka is complete, and the eyebrows were hidden, and now you can do whatever you want with her. Now you can give her any body you want, give her any outfit you want, and put her in any story you would want to create with her. And this is Genesis 8. I honestly do not know how to create Genesis 8.1 models yet, or how to convert them. I hear Genesis 8.1 is very good for face posing. And well, and that's it for my Tanaka model. Oh, actually, I should also show you how to make icons for your characters and all that. So what you want to do is find a flattering angle of this headshot, and I'm going to go ahead and render this 2048. Okay, that's good. It's good for a preview pic. Okay, so it's finally done. I think it looks really good. Hair is kind of matted, but you can also see the edges on it too. But that's all post work. You can fix later or smooth it yourself by adding a modifier. Excuse me. So right now I'm going to go ahead and name it Tanaka headshot. Oh, let's not do headshot. That implies you got shot in the head. And not put it in Cortana. Halo. Tanaka doesn't have one yet, so Tanaka. And select and save. And there we go. We have our headshot. Alright, and so the next part is I gotta create a head morph picture. So when you look at the morphs, you'll know what you're getting, what you're selecting, I mean. So, like how these, let's go to shape, head. And I go down to people, halo. You see that I have pictures, right? So I have a actual preset I made that matches the morph card preview. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm just going to take a picture. It's going to be super small because that's what it is. And there you have it. So now it's rendering, it's saved. I gotta call this now full head M for full head morph, I believe it's called. So save it. What I normally do is just save it in a folder called icons. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it there. So now I got to find this thing again. There we go. I want to go over here to where is it at? Where is it at? Browse the folder location, and it's going to pop up on my thing right here. So this is I normally put the full head morph in here, the picture, because then it keeps it all together just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it over here. This is the Tanaka head full head morph. And if you recall, I made a render as well. But it's 2048 by 2048, and we don't need something that big for our head example. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink it to 512 by 512. Go to save it. And now I have Tanaka head. Now what I normally do is I go to apply, I hit F2, name it the same thing, and then I delete it. This one's the one. There we go. And then I move this one over, open it up, gray it out, and sometimes I'll even put in a, where's, okay, my bad. It's Control L, 0.6. Then I save it as, instead of apply, I save it as remove. Or I can just actually click this one, because I'm going to overwrite this old one. So, it goes ahead and saves it, and now I have it set as remove. Skin, on the other hand, is I normally just go to render, morph card. I do custom, which is usually 512 by 512. Oh, I didn't. Okay, my bad. It didn't. It changed it when I tried it. Close the hips. Turn off the hair. Because this is the image I'm going to use for my skin preset. Because it's just the skin material. It doesn't have to do anything to do with the hair. So full head morph, but instead of full head morph, I'll put skin. Save. And now that I have that there, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other one, which is this one. I'm going to move over Tanaka head skin over here, copy this name, delete it, replace this name, and now my pictures are all updated. I'm also going to save this URL. I'm going to go over to Content Library, right click, hit refresh, and it's going to show me the updated pictures. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to my morph, which should be in currently used. Tanaka head morph, parameter settings. Go over to, I believe it's card, browse, copy and paste that URL you made, FHM, go to preview, and this is what it's going to look like. So, that's exactly what you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit accept, and it should be good, because then I got to replace the other two as well. So, more facets, again, Holy Tanaka, actor, head, eyes, head, morph, ears. Where the heck are you at, people? Resident Evil Halo, and Tanaka head. There we go. And accept. Now it's saved. Now I can, okay, remove and apply still works. So it worked out in the end for us. The hair, I would also take pictures of the hair. Don't need to do the eyelashes. Don't need to do the eyebrow. So we'll just do a simple picture of the hair right here. So Tanaka head, hair. Should be saved, and then let's go ahead and hide the hair and do the eyebrows. Save. I tend to keep the same pose for the picture just because it's simpler. Eyebrows. And we have our pictures now. So all is well. So you got to open up the Holly Tanaka folder again, outfits, Spartan, and then our hair right here. We're just going to go ahead and replace these with our proper ones. I've considered using backgrounds behind them, but I think clear pictures are easier, just for time. Delete, rename, copy, delete, rename, refresh. My bad, gotta refresh the outfit section. Spartan, refresh. There we go. And you can do the materials if you want to, but I normally just ignore those. So eyebrows and hair. If you hover over them, a big image will pop up. So that's why I do 512, because it just happens to be a really good picture, so you know what you're looking at. Now, in order to change Holly Tanaka's actual icon name, you have to have it set to a specific size. So let's take the Tanaka head, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the editor. I'm going to add a background to it. But before I do that, I'm going to bring up an older one I made, like Halsley, so I can get the same exact background. And you'll notice that it's just a really super small tooltip thing. So I'll put one behind her right here. I'll flatten it. Let's find out what the size is for this one. 91 by 91 and 256 by 256. So we'll make this one 256. That's canvas size, so I got to resize it. And then I'll save it. And then I'll name it. It has to be the same name as the folder it's going to be representing. .tip.png. So save. And then let's make it 91 by 91. Save it as, but we get rid of the tip part. There we go. And now we gotta move over Tanaka's new folder icons over to Halo. Paste it. Holly Tanaka, it fits. We'll look at this, our DAZ now. We'll refresh Halo. And now Holly's got a picture on her folder. So now it's pretty much done. And you just save it as a scene or you start animating, whatever you're going to do with it. So hopefully this helped you out. And I wish you the best of luck. So goodbye and good luck.